What's up, y'all? The man Schmager. It's actually called Race versus Tribe. I don't know what to really call this actual video. I'm gonna let the name of the actual video, so I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna call it Race versus Tribe. The video originally speaks about how originally what it was. So like right around like everything was actually based on tribe before they changed it to race. And I'm actually speaking about that transaction, about how it originally was tribe and how they took everything that originally was applied to tribe and made it be about applied to race. And made us forgotten how it originally was. I'm actually looking down because I written notes. Race. The term race generally refers to a group of people who have in common some visible physical traits such as skin color, hair texture, facial features, and eye formation. Nationality. If you have the nationality of a particular country, you were born there or have the legal rights to be citizen. Also means a person that has belonged to a country. What's a country? An area of land that has its own government, army, etc., or a nation with its own government applying a particular territory. Ethnic, pertaining to a characteristic of people, especially a group sharing a common and distinctive culture, religion, language, or the like, referring to the origin, classification, characteristics, etc. of such groups. Ethnic, relating or belonging to a group of people who can be seen as distinct before they have a shared culture, traditions, language, history, etc. Tribe, a group of people often of related families who live together sharing the same language, culture, and history, especially those who do not live in towns or cities. Now pretty much what it actually means that before it was actually towns and cities, everything was actually based on tribes. Before the existence of towns and cities, everything was based on tribes. Tribes has already inhabited the land before the colonizers came and actually made it be tribal land. Now, tribal land, we actually go further depth research. Tribal land is pretty much about like the homes of where the indigenous actually live. But you actually do kind of further more research on the actual word. It literally also says this. I actually bumped into this right around with like the meaning of the word tribal land. I'm actually gonna put this in my book, The Planet of Blacks Part 2. What I'm actually saying here, I'm gonna show you all of my references, etc. Tribal land is an area of land reserved by or for a Indian band, village, or tribe to live on and use. Reservations were created by a treaty by a Congress or by exclusive order. So personally, when the colonizers came, they actually told the natives, yo, look here, homie, you're gonna live here now. Fuck your home, you're gonna live here. So we're gonna move you from where you live. Practically, the part words called ethnic cleansing, removal, etc. Right? Those actual part words. I actually explain in depth details in my second book, which is called Mexicans is Indigenous to America, and I also explain it in. I was actually speaking about the old world versus the new world. The old world, everything was based on tribes. White people was on a planet long enough to actually be tribes, right? They wasn't on the planet long enough to be tribes. The word race is actually originated by white people. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I know it's created from a Germany person. Race. They created a 5 classification of race, which is actually based off of rooted in racism, because white people were trying to show the world that they superior, they the smartest, they the best, all those other shit like this. This the whole purpose of reason why they actually created race. But when you look at how it was originally, all these cities and countries, etc., it was not applying when you go back to the old world, or practically when the indigenous Native Americans, Africans, etc. already inhabited land. They did not had what was literally occurring right now. So when the colonizers came, they built everything to where they are the ones who are called themselves born native to the lands that they stolen. That's why they're the face of each one of these countries. And those that actually already inhabited, they put them at the bottom. They put them at the bottom, put themselves up top, so they can be the face of the country, even though they are not indigenous. So that's why when you hear the word, I'm gonna give you an example. When they say African American, or you hear Chinese American, etc., they don't. You rarely hear white Americans. You just hear American. You can even research the word American. Type up the word 1828 definition of America. It says it right there. Where they said that the Aboriginals is actually copper-colored races who was already inhabited here in America, but now applied to born white people, something like that. You can research it yourself. I actually revealed it in many of my videos many times. So when you go to one of my previous videos or just type it up yourself, you will literally will see it. You know what I mean? So everything brought around with like country, like the country customs, their beliefs, etc. And the land they actually on, it was originally applied to tribes. Because you can know a name of a tribe and know what land he's from, which is his tribal home. Oh man, you from Cherokee? Oh, you live in the east. You live there on that land, and I know where to find you at. And your spiritual beliefs is this, and your culture is this, that, and your history is this. You see what I'm saying? It's what somehow it is with the countries, but they literally just changed everything so they can just benefit from it. That's why, in order for them to rule the areas that they invaded, they had to get rid of the old world. We actually researched the old world and its definition. It actually speaks about I don't want to call it reality, but it kind of speaks about a existence that actually existed before the New World. I actually explain in depth details in Mexicans is Indigenous to America. Also, which is my second book, and my third illustrated book is The African Present Ancient America. So when you cop those two books, you'll understand what I'm saying. But I'm explaining in depth details, filling in everything that I actually intentionally didn't add on to those two previous books. I'll put that in the Planet of Blacks Part 2. So that's if those books actually do sell. My goal was to at least have like 500 books sell with the first, third, and fourth book. So 500 to at least 1,000, because it literally does cost a lot of money to actually make the books. Aside from that, and I do want to make a living from selling books, stuff like that. So that's all I gotta say about that. But the second book, Mexicans, This is America, I need 10,000 copies of those books to get sold, so I can. People actually want featuring in the actual documentary. I was gonna pay them like $10,000 to like $14,000 per person. When I actually make the documentary for that. So that's all I gotta say about that, y'all. Peace.